go. So welcome back to another episode of the Financial Happy Hour podcast, the place where money meets conversation. Of course, I'm your beautiful, handsome host here, Mr. Rusty Westfall. But today I am joined by my special guest, Miss Karla Leonard, who really, truly is the definition of a financial professional with incredible expertise, helping families and businesses protect, grow, and maximize their money. So on this episode, we're diving into two powerful topics every business owner needs to hear. One is tax incentives. Hello, that most owners don't even know that exist. And then the shocking reality that over 80% of business owners, they don't have a clear exit strategy in place. So before we go any further, and before I forget, I want to be sure to remind you guys to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, then share this episode to help spread the financial education that we bring here on this show. So the bottom line, if you're a business owner or if you plan on being one, then you'll want to lean in because today's insights could save you money, create new opportunities, and even change the way that you plan for your future. Karla, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rusty. Looking forward to sharing on your show.
Indeed. All right. Well, Karla, it is Friday and it is happy hour.
It is
So
happy.
you kind of gave me a sneak peek on the liquid beverage that you're going to be sipping on this next hour. And I believe it's highly, highly distilled, filtered vodka, correct?
Yes.
It's so powerful that you don't even taste like vodka. It tastes like water, from what I understand. Is that also correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That is correct. So I'm batting 1,000 here. All right. Well, grab that high quality H2O Bobby Boucher style. And
Cheers.
let's do a little cheers. Here's to another successful podcast. May our viewers who are watching this live and on the replay get a lot of value from today's show. Cheers. Salute.
Cheers.
All right. Oh, by the way, guys, today's drink of choice, it is MXD Drinks Company. And it's another Walmart pickup right there on that express checkout. $1.99, 12%. First sip, not impressed. So,
How's
all
that
right.
taste?
Last week was, or the week before last was much better with that Long Island tea. Not a fan of that. I'm going to share my screen here. All right, Karla, we go to your website here, imiassetmanagementco.com. I'm going to dive into this. We're going to go straight into this, and I want to point something out in regards to tax incentives. Before I expose that, if you could, in 5 minutes or less, first just kind of give the audience a little bit of background on yourself.
Quickly, I came into business over 30 years ago. I guess everyone who I think there's always a story behind why you do. If you have a passion, if you're a true professional, you have a passion for what you do. And my passion is to help every person out there, all my clients, not to be succumb to the deceptions of a lot of people that are lying to them, that are taking advantage of them right now. Even way back then, I was taken advantage of because when I went to move my retirement fund to go into business for myself, I had an agent I thought I could trust to do my trades on me for my retirement, and he ended up lost almost $100,000 of my money. So I got
What?
really upset.
Oh,
It's always a
man.
story behind. I got really that put the fire under me, and I said, "Well, I worked. I went to University of California, Riverside, majored in economics and actually art history also. But I really said, let me start using this economics degree. I've worked in the commodities market and the institutional trading floor of the stock market, so I already saw those industries, and I wanted something safe. I wanted to be able to go to sleep at night, making sure whoever I helped for their savings, that their money was secure. So I went to the life insurance industry, and I've never regretted it ever since. And so my main core is life insurance and retirement planning. I'm helping people make sure that they don't run out of money. Making sure that if they have, they can outlive their money. The money can outlive them, excuse me, and that if they have any type of illnesses, they can have money for that. I always say, what would you rather use your money or use other people's money? And it's
Absolutely.
always a way of structuring that you can use other people's money, keep your money and your portfolio sound for what you really want to do, which most people only want the same thing. They want to enjoy life, make their own decisions, and be able to pay their bills
Right.
and be happy. Everybody wants to be happy.
And peace of mind. There's so much truth to that whole cliche peace of mind. And, everybody knows my background. I was, for years and years, Mr. Final Expensive, peace of mind, peace of mind. But peace of mind is not limited to just, one specific area. It's all across the board, especially in financial services. Peace of mind, knowing that we got retirement, peace of mind, knowing that you're not going to outlive your money, peace of mind, knowing that in the event you get sick or injured along the way to retirement, your family, you are protected. Peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind. As a business owner, that you are utilizing all the right strategies and concepts that are out there to really maximize the bottom line, profitability, right? So to give peace of mind at the end of the day, that's what you do for not just families, but business owners as well. Correct?
Correct. And
By
also to make it, make it so they understand. It's simple enough you can understand this. I think the industry makes it complicated.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
it's
yes.
intentional, so you don't ask questions. And it's okay to ask questions. That's what we got a mouth for. Ask a question.
I mean,
So
one of my favorite sayings, I'm a quote guy, Carla, you know this, and it's an old Chinese proverb that goes like this: he who asks a question is going to be a fool for 5 minutes, but he who never asks a question, you're a fool forever. Questions are good.
yes,
You
yes.
like that?
I'm familiar with that one.
Are you?
Yes, it's like
All
that
right.
one.
All right. Very good. All right. So thank you for sharing a little bit of background on yourself. Now we're here on your website. And again, that's IMI Asset Management Co.com. So here at the top, we scroll down just a little bit and we see this here. 2.3 trillion available to businesses now. Here's the microphone. Tell us about it.
Yes, one of my services, although my business is helping people financial services, but one of my services that I offer for business owners is is tax incentive benefits, tax credits, and tax incentives. I work with a financial consulting firm who's been in business for over 23 years, whose main expertise is increasing cash flow for small to mid-sized business owners. They are the crux of this country. The small business owner, you walk down, you go into any little city, you see all these little businesses, and a lot of them are still, family-owned businesses that just pass down that business from generation to generation. And a lot of them, it's amazing when you start reading, you go through these business owners and you go back and you look on their website and you read about how they got started. A lot of them started in a garage. I have some clients that when I first met them, they were in their garage and now they're major businesses. And so it doesn't take long for if you structure right, if you know what you're doing as a business owner, if you're persistent, and there hasn't been an easy trail for any of them. But they had that passion and they wanted that business to survive, and it will survive if you really put your foot to the ground and go. So,
And a point of information here, I think you heard my story a couple of weeks ago in a private meeting with our firm that my mother, she started her business in her 2-car garage, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
right.
1700 ranch style home in suburbia Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then it was about 10 years later, something like that, expanded into a 10,000 square foot facility. A couple of years later, plans to square. But yeah, it's funny how it started in a garage.
Yes, started in garage.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what my clients do is they leverage these tax incentives and tax credits, and to either increase their cash flow, or they have major projects they want to do, expansion in their business, hire more employees for special divisions they open up, or offset their what they owe good old Uncle Sam. So it's one of those three directions they usually this money for, but it's always a positive for the business owner, especially when it's funds that you didn't even know that was owed to you.
Right.
You have the right to go and get them, and that's what we help them do. We help them to go and get them. Most people are pretty familiar with the ERC program. Remember, after COVID and the PPP plan. Well, Congress no longer has an ERC active, but people don't realize that there are hundreds of thousands, there's hundreds of other tax incentive programs and tax credit programs like the ERC right now, and that's where that it's like $2.3 trillion available.
Okay, so the 2.3 is from the ERC. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what the federal government has for business owners available.
Okay.
Pay out tax incentives and tax credits.
Okay, so again, that is for the ERC is still a thing that's designed for business owners.
No, it no longer is available for the.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard you say the first time, and then I said, okay, so I'm just trying to get my facts straight here. I apologize.
It's no longer available, but there's programs like it.
And so what are those programs? Tell me about them. I said, so what are those programs? Tell us about some of those, and what are the programs that you help your clients find or get into?
I call it it started at the top. It's called the tax management system.
Tax management system. Okay.
Tax management system. It's called TMS.
TMS.
Designed to make businesses efficient and accountable with employee candidates processing. It helps the business owner on one platform. Let's say you're a business owner, and everyone's familiar with Netflix or QuickBooks. You pay for this service online, and you have a ability to interact and use that platform for your
basically like a subscription then.
Yeah, it's like a subscription program.
Okay.
So this program, it actually starts attracts candidates for WOTC, worker opportunity tax credits. It also helps with tracking research and development tax credits. It also helps to track cost segregation and property taxes, and also disaster relief. So I do have a sim that I can share with you that we can go through each of these tax credits that are available to the business owners, and a couple of videos too that help you further explain them and help you to understand them.
Okay. So what are there certain businesses that would qualify for this? Are certain businesses that are excluded? What else can you tell me? How do these businesses find out if they're eligible and how much they're eligible for? What does that process look like?
Well, actually, there's over 40 industries that we work with. 40 industries, manufacturers, restaurant owners, crematories, grocery stores, hotels, commercial realtors, construction, all these different areas, all these different industries qualify to receive these tax credits. If I don't, and it's not advertised, Uncle Sam doesn't let you, he has the money sitting there, so you have to know about it to get it. Most major Fortune 500 companies know about these tax credits, but the average small business owner or mid-sized business owner is not aware of them.
How would you define a smaller mid business owner versus those large blue chip type of companies? So where is that separation from the larger ones to those medium sized to the smaller ones, where the medium smaller ones are neglected and they're just not aware of the benefits that are available to them?
The smaller ones, can start as low as 2 employees for small.
Sure.
Or startup companies too are
right.
Small. I would take it small all the way up to a couple hundred, up to about 100 employees. Mid-size is over 100 to about 500.
Okay.
That's why I usually work within that parameter, because once you get beyond that point, you're going into like the corporations, and it's harder and harder to get to that person, that decision maker.
Right.
They're well guarded. They don't want to talk to you. But it's mid-size and small, but you can have actually walk into the companies that really actually sit down with that CFO or that owner.
So let's think of all the years that you've been serving that niche with this, providing these kind of funds or tax credits for these businesses. What percentage of, let's just say small business owners, let's keep it focused on small business owners that you meet and start working with that do not know about these tax incentives and tax benefits that they are eligible for? What percentage of small business owners out of all the business owners that you meet and start working with do not know about it?
None of them do.
Okay, so
Everyone
basically
knows my
100%. So 100%
100%.
of them. Okay, now
100%.
my next, I got a follow-up question here.
It's 100% of all the businesses that I have interacted with. I have called. I have walked into the business. I'd be 100%. They didn't know.
What's your approach then? So if you're like back in the, I know you don't do the whole cold calling thing because you've been in this business for as long as you have, that everybody knows who Karla Leonard out in California is. But when you start working with a small, or so when you approach a business owner back in the day, what was your approach? What would you say to the business owner to basically get that foot in the door? I'm curious.
I just walked in and I said, if somebody owed you money, would you want to know about it?
Wait, let me repeat that. That was gold. If somebody owed you money, would you want to know about it? Is that what you just said?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was poetry. Let me write that down. If someone owes you money, would you want to know about it? Someone owes you money. Beautiful. Okay. So when you start working with the business owner, what is that process? I'm the business owner. What can I expect in working with Karla to go through this process to see what tax incentives or benefits are available to me and what I might be eligible for?
Okay, depends if I'm facing them face to face. I usually have a small my tablet, and I have a calculator on there. And I go, and first of all, I'd like to build that relationship with that business owner. I ask a question, and I then say, if you could get those monies, are you interested in going to get those monies? I can help you to get those funds and let's see how much I can tell you temporarily what your savings estimate will be, and I can do that in the next 10 minutes. If you get their permission, I can sit with them for 10 minutes, and I ask them. It goes through the calculator to ask, how many employees they have. It'll ask, how much, if they own property, how much their property taxes are. It'll ask them if they have renovated their building, if they own their building. Ask them if they have any credit card, if they use credit cards. Some manufacturers do, some don't. All the hospitality, all of them use the credit cards. If they have workman's comp, if it's a large business, a large medium-sized business, and they will have considerable amount of workman's comp, so we can decrease that cost. And waste and recycling, we can reduce that cost. So those are the questions I would ask. And as soon as I ask them, I put them into my little calculator, and it has this current with all federal, state, and local taxes, and then that particular zip code that I'm in, and it'll give me an estimate within 5 minutes.
Now, was this that program you were showing me? I think it was just yesterday.
Yes.
That's on your website. Would you like to share with the audience what that software on this website looks like?
Sure. The other calculator I would use is a little different than that one, but we can certainly use that one. We can just show them the beginning.
And I'll tell you why I want you to do this, because I always put myself in the shoes of the other person in any situation. I'm not just talking about as a business owner, but as a prospect, as a consumer, somebody going door to door in my neighborhood, and me being the sales guy. If I was on the other side of that, on that door, what would I be thinking? What would I be concerned about? And as a business owner, I'd be thinking, first thing is, how long is this going to take? How much information do I have to give? How involved is this really going to be with the uncertainty? Am I just wasting my time? And what's in it for her? And what's she really trying to get from me versus give me money? So if you can show how simple that process really is, I think for anybody who watches this show live or on the replay, giving them that comfort and that peace of mind, knowing that, wow, that's actually pretty simple and pretty quick. I think that's worth checking out. That's why I'm asking if you could kind of give a demonstration. That would be great.
Let's see here. I'm going to bring up this particular screen here. This will have it on there.
Wow, Miss Karla is pulling this up. We're going to take a brief time out to promote MXD Drinks Margarita. This is, I do not support this drink. This is not very good.
Do you see my screen or no?
I do not.
Okay, how do I share this? Hold
Uh,
it, hold it. I have to go down here and share, screen share. Okay, I'm a boomer. I'm just slow at this time. Um,
I mean, if it's on that website, I could share my screen and you could just tell me what information to plug in.
okay, let's do it that way.
All right, here we go. All right, so we are back on the screen. So on the main page right here, scroll down. When you click on this, a separate window or a browser will pop up. Okay, and it gives us background on the actual incentives. But then I believe this is the calculator here. Is this what you're referencing,
Yes.
Karla? Okay, so we're going to click on the secure online calculator. From there, you're the driver. I am the sidekick here. Just tell me what to do.
On the first one, it says select your industry. We're going to do a drop down screen and you're going to select the industry. What do you want? Which industry do you want?
Well, you said that you do a lot of you specialize with doing with a lot of restaurant owners, correct?
Yes, restaurants and manufacturers.
Well, restaurants and manufacturers. Let's stick with restaurant.
Okay. Number of employees. Let's put 50.
50? Okay.
Mm-hmm. We just make it small restaurant.
Sure.
Hires per year. Let's put 15 new hires.
15. All right.
The payroll, we'll put it 2 million.
2 million. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you own any commercial property?
Okay. Now, right there, the stuff right there that's showing the savings just off of the amount for hires.
So just on that basic information, we already know that they will be. Is there an approval process, or is this just what they're entitled to?
This is their estimate savings. $18,000. We already know they qualify for 18,000.
How accurate is that? Is there anybody who's never gotten what that number shows, or is it 100% accurate?
We're not 100% accurate until they actually, if they say, okay, I want to get my WOTC, I want to work with the hiring incentives to get my hiring incentives, tax credits. Then I have them send in their, they have specific docs they send in with how many employees they hire and their each year and their full how many employees they currently have. So okay. It's proven. This is just based off because we don't. And I tell that's why the business owners can relax a little because I'm saying I'm just talking on. We're going to calculate this. Just give me roundabout figures. I don't know anything exact because we work with the exact figures when we go to do the feasibility report. If you decide to go and want to collect off these tax credits,
okay,
then so it gets more detailed and more defined.
Gotcha, and that makes sense. But you're saying that it is pretty accurate, though. I mean, it's pretty close to what they what they can expect, give or take, right?
Yes.
All right. So, do I own any commercial property?
You own any commercial property? Yes.
Oh. Yes. Okay. I own it.
None of them own. You know why? Because a lot of them own another restaurant. Sometimes they have a chain of them.
I just have one restaurant, so I'm just going to put one. I just own this one. So let me ask you this: how many restaurant owners really actually own the property? I would think that the majority of them rent, like small business owners rent. But you're the expert on this. You tell me.
What they do? A lot of them do lease. A lot of them might own the building, but lease the property, the building that the building's on.
Right.
Some of them own the property and the building, and some of them just rent outside rent.
All right, so we're going to say that I own this building. So we add that building type.
Mm-hmm. So building type, what type of building is it?
Restaurant. There we go.
And what's the name of it?
Rusty's Burritos. Year purchase.
And what year did you purchase this?
It was established in 2003.
And what did you pay for it?
So it's what I paid for it, not the current value, correct?
It's the estimated, your estimated cost of what you paid for it.
Yeah, 22 years ago, man, I got a deal on that mug. I think I paid $225,000 for it.
Mm.
Is that a good deal?
Yeah, that was a really good deal.
I mean, I tell you, it's how I roll.
Okay, now we're asking you, because I can't see really good this tiny. Do you,
So
do you live in one of those states? Is a restaurant, is a property in one of those states?
yeah, so it says, did you have operations in any of the following states in
Yes.
2018 or 2019?
Yeah.
All right. So even though I live in Illinois, I'm going to say my restaurant's in Missouri. I'm on the Missouri side. Then the next one is says, please select all counties that you had operations in. That would be, well, I was going to put St. Louis County, but it's not on here. St. Charles County is right on the outskirts of St. Louis Metro.
Mhm.
So let's say that it's not in any of these counties. I would put none of these, but does that,
Well, see, with the reason they're asking those particular counties, because those counties are the ones that have disaster relief. So if something happens, you have a hurricane or a tornado, a flooding, then you get extra money for disaster relief.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I put none of
Okay.
these because I'm just trying to be honest. My
Yeah.
burrito place is in St. Louis County.
Yeah, a lot of them, a lot of people have none of those. Yeah. That's
All
not
right.
unusual.
So here's what it says. Thanks for answering everything so far. We are going to build you a custom saving summary. Who should we address this to? Now, down at the bottom, it does say savings. It went from like what, 12 or 18,000 to 30,000.
$30,311. So the next phase, the next page, we don't want to click on that, but the next page asks you general questions like if you're applying for QuickBooks or Netflix, is asking for the name and the name of the company, general information so they can set up your tax management system account, and which but not for that amount of employees, are probably $19 a month, and then once you've set that up, it will then ask you further questions about if you've done any renovations. It'll ask you about, more about the property, about property taxes. It'll ask you more about your employees and look into R&D. And then you will.
All right. So hold on. I'm going to stop you right here. So I went ahead and filled out, my information, and then I
Okay.
clicked next. And so there's the QuickBooks right here. I guess this is what you're
Right.
talking about.
Well, it's similar to QuickBooks. This is the tax management system
This is
platform.
okay. So when somebody fills out that form and they get to this part here,
Mm-hmm.
what should they do? Should they book a call or should they
Yes.
click get started now? Book a call.
I would advise them to book a call, because once they book a call, then the home office will contact them and they'll actually go through every step of the system for them, make sure you understand every part of it and how to work it.
How long is that call generally
Just
last? What can
about
they
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of information will they be collecting? And first of all, who is they and what
It's
information will they be collecting?
The home office is in Fenton, Michigan. So the home team office will be calling you, the experts at the office that actually help with the tax management system platform, and they know it inside and out and can answer any questions that you have. And they also will show you how to input the employees into there, and how, if you want to collect on any of the other tax incentive tax credits that you qualify for, how to start activating so you can get those credits, and it'll tell you, they'll tell you which what documents you need to have and how to upload them into their system, so it'll go directly to them so they can start getting a feasibility report. For example, if you want to do if you get money back on credit cards, and do the credit card audit, then you have to look at the last 6 months of your processor statements, and they do a free report to let you see how much money you've been overcharged every month over those 6 months, and to see if you want them to go ahead and start getting those monies back for you.
So from A to Z, Z meaning they were approved, they qualified,
Mm-hmm.
they now have $30,000 for this year in a tax incentive. How long of a period is that process from A to Z? Are we talking a couple hours, couple days, couple weeks, couple months,
We're
couple
talking a
years?
couple weeks to a couple months, because everything is separate. Even though collectively it says $30,000 estimated, your estimate total is that, but it breaks it down into each. If you don't click that, because it'll set you an appointment, people will call you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to click that. No.
Okay. They everything is separate. WOTC is separate. You say, okay, I want to do WOTC. I want to do cost seg. Or I
So
want to,
what is
you want to
WOTC?
do this
You covered that with
separate.
me, but you're saying WOTC. I mean, I want to make sure that we don't get ahead of ourselves. And when we're
Mhm.
throwing out vernacular and acronyms like that, I mean, me for one to be like WOTC, what the hell is she saying? What is WOTC?
Workers' Opportunity Tax Credit.
Workers' Opportunity Tax
Work,
Credit. You said there were 4 categories?
Worker Opportunity Tax Credit. The other one is cost seg. Cost segregation is when you move the depreciation of a building forward. Most times you have 39-year amortization over a building when you buy a building to write off to get, and they like say you get $100,000 a year over 39 years of tax credits back on that building. Well, most buildings they have depreciate in areas quicker than in other areas, so you can move that depreciation factor up 5, 10, or 15 years, where you can get those monies in the first 5, 10, 15 years instead of waiting the 39 years, which increases the money tremendously. That you get back. And you don't have to wait the 39 years. The other property taxes. Most people are overpaying property taxes, so we go into we look and see how much you're overpaying in property taxes, and that depending on the state when those property taxes are due. So that's another one that could take a couple of months because you can't address that until the actual open date for the property taxes.
All righty.
Okay, so
We
that's why I
are
can take cost seg is the fastest one. It can take anywhere from it closes to up to 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
The shortest 2 weeks, yeah.
Karla, as I say with every guest, every show, time flies when you're having fun. No exception on today's show. It's already 4:33, already halfway past the hour. So remember, if you like this episode, if you're getting some value out of today's show, and you're learning a few things that you did not know about, then please like today's episode. Like it, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share it with others. Now, if I'm watching the show and I'm like, man, this Karla lady, she knows what's up. How would somebody be able to get in touch with you?
You can call me. Best way to do is just call. You can call 888-383-3068, or you can call me direct 951-333-2080.
Okay, and Karla, you're out of California, correct?
Yes, I'm in California. Or you can email me at kmld@imiassetmanagementco.com.
All right, very cool. Karla, what other states are you able to help others in? Are you limited to just California, or do you have
No,
the ability to help people in other areas?
I can help people all across the U.S.
There are no limits to how Karla Leonard can help you out. So you need
And I
to.
have clients everywhere:
That's what.
Florida, New England,
Whoa,
Midwest.
New England. Man, she's all over. So I'm looking at your
Every
business.
business is everywhere. New York, Texas.
I mean, that's kind of like your business card. I'm looking at your business card here. IMI services, businesses, individuals, couples, families, 401k, 403b, IRA pension rollovers, retirement planning, annuities, long-term care, life insurance, group medical insurance. And that's really just on the family side. And then over on the business side, increased revenue, tax incentives, expense reduction, retirement plans, corporate financing. What is medical underpayment? I think I know what that means, but what does that mean? Because you have medical underpayment on your business card.
It's medical underpayment audit. 99% of the hospitals in the United States are in the red. There's only 2 ways that a hospital or medical center can collect money. It's either from the patients or from the insurance companies. So I collected from the insurance company because most insurance companies are in breach of their contract on what they're supposed to be paying. So what we do is we go in and we have a software system that we use that will find out exactly and look at all the contracts. It'll go to every single contract. We can go back 2-3 years and find out exactly how much they had negated in paying the hospital. Most hospitals have their own billing through their billing department, like Epic, because Epic will go through and find and get the monies for, get the monies that their job is to get this money that they're not paying. But their return rate is anywhere from 0.3 to 3.5%.
Hmm.
Our system, we come in after they're finished, after they're exhausted. The problem is that a lot of these facilities are understaffed, so they can only go after these insurance companies for so many times, and then they just say, "We'll just forget it. We'll just go to the next billing, to the next time." But we come in and we have 100% success rate, and we usually get about at least 22% of that money back, which is a tremendous amount of money when you're dealing with a multi-million-dollar hospital that we're looking at the revenues, sometimes $1 billion. We work with billion-dollar facilities and get tremendous amount of money back for them. So they can, and a lot of times it saves the hospital from having to file bankruptcy. I have hospitals out here in California that have to file bankruptcy and they're closing. And those poor people out there in those rural areas, if they have an emergency, they have to get to a hospital. Now they got to drive an extra hour because they don't have a facility anymore. So we're trying the same thing is same premises. We're always trying to help those who are in need to increase their revenue and cash flow. So this is another way we are helping to increase the cash flow for these hospitals so they can hire more staff, so they have different projects. They need to build more buildings. This money will come in very handy if they're getting, several $1 million back or several hundred thousand.
So here's the bottom line. Let me just translate everything Karla says. She's a smart cookie. I mean, it's like, how do you know all this stuff? I mean, golly, that's awesome and good for you. And rhetorical question, how do you know all this stuff? But anyways, let's move on to the second part, which is exit strategies for business owners, since we've only got 22 minutes left. And I want to make sure that because there's a lot of questions I still wanted to ask you on the tax incentive side, but I mean, it's hard to cram everything, like 5 hours worth of stuff, into 1 hour. But I do want to at least cover business owners and the lack of exit strategy, because I feel that's almost like dying without life insurance. People don't plan to fail. They just simply fail to plan. It's just in a different way, right? So you had said to me that over 80, that's an 8 and a 0, 80% of business owners do not have an exit strategy. And then really, when you mentioned, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't have a seriously, but they don't have a financial advisor actually too.
They don't have a financial advisor. Is that what you're saying? Right. So you're saying that 80% of small business owners DIY their finances. They do it themselves and try to figure it out on their own without hiring or partnering with an actual professional that's really going to put them financially secure. Why is that? Why do you think there 8 out of 10 people don't work with you? You're a business owner, for crying out loud, but you're trying to figure it out yourself. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's not they're trying to figure it out by themselves. They're a business owner, period, and they're focused on their business. And most of them say, okay, I'm said I have a business. One day I'll sell my business and that will be my retirement. But they don't understand, they're most of these are baby boomers, and there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of us out there that are also business owners or are going to sell their business at the same time. I asked them, do you think about, first of all, it's going to really take about 2 years to sell a business. How competitive is your business, and is your business even viable for today's market? My sister's mother-in-law had a printing business, very successful advertising printing business, and she went to retire and tried to sell the business. And because you can get stuff printed online, it's like an Amazon situation. You can get stuff online so easily. She couldn't sell the business. She had to sell the building, then sell all the equipment in the building. And so how much money is that going to bring you? And so they said they're going to support her lifestyle. Well, no, that wasn't going to do it. So, you have to say, if I can bring to you a strategy, let's do a strategy here. And if I can, that you plan for a retirement, plan to sell that building now to get the money that you're looking to have down the line. So you're looking to get $2 million for that business. Well, let's set you up now so that in 10, 15 years, let's see how long, if you're looking at a 10, 15 year window before you retire, well, let's create that situation now. So in 15 years, you will have that $2 million. And if the business sells now at time of retirement that you want to retire, well, you have an account that has $2 million in it. So now if you sell the business, then that's even icing on the cake, but you don't have to stress or worry about how long it's going to take that business to sell, or the parameters that are going to maybe prevent that business from selling, or if you have to just sell it off piece by piece. Let's secure what you want for retirement and how you're going to live, and the income you're going to need for retirement now. So there's different, every business owner is different. A lot of them are stuck, paying my computer's the one. A lot of them are stuck paying with the 401k situation, where they cannot pay any more than the most, what they have the highest salary employee is. That's not going to be enough for them. So I also offer called a Strive Retirement Program, where we can accelerate their savings tremendously, and they can put any amount into this. It's a tax deferred. It mirrors a 401k. It's tax, they can have a tax write-off, tax deferred, and distribution tax free. So there's different types of programs they can set up. Small, if they want to jumbo it, we can use other people's money again to finance finance it with a loan that can pay that premium, that jumbo premium on there. And in the 15 years, everything settles out. So it gives them a strategy. Also, they have to see, and I have videos on my website too for that discuss this, that shows if it's a family-owned business, how you're gonna divvy it up between the family members. Or some members, some family members may not want anything to do with the business. Well, let's set up something. How are you going to buy them out? They have to be bought out. So we do, look at, creating accounts where they can be bought out, like Keyman. So,
is this what you're talking about right here? Is it under GMG Services Stride?
A knowledge center.
Knowledge center. Okay.
Yeah, business owner videos. Yeah,
there we go. There. Cool.
See, family business and succession planning, 3 steps for success. So go on and listen to those videos, and I direct them to those videos, and then I said, then get back with me and let's go from there.
So let me ask you this. What are the key elements of a strong exit strategy?
I think the foundation of it is having a good life insurance policy that covers living benefits. I think they should have that first before that's even thought about, even an exit strategy. You need to have that, period. Because if that business owner gets sick, or when if his key employees get sick, where's the money going to come from if they can't work? Or if he can't work, how's he going to make money? So you always want to cover yourself and your key employees with, like I call it Keyman insurance, to ensure that the business is covered if anyone gets sick, or early death occurs. That other business partners, if they have partners, can buy the family out of the business. The family members don't want to be part of the business. So you always have to think ahead and prepare yourself with these different type of financial products. And if some of the I have a company now where all of the key employees, one of the key employees didn't qualify for insurance. Well, let's set her up with some annuities. They can pretty much do the same thing.
Okay, so I want to have to stop you for a moment, because I want to go back. I had asked you, the question was, what are the key elements of a strong exit strategy? And we went back to living benefits in the event of business owner or employees getting sick or injured, during their employment. But I'm thinking exit here, that should be something that should be addressed at the very beginning.
Yeah, that's why
not the very end.
Well, it should be, it's at the time when I talk to them, because a lot of them don't have that type of policy set up. So I said, this is the start. But the exit strategy is just to see in which direction they want to sell a business, or they're going to pass the business down to family members, which family members they want to have in there. And we have to strategize to see how we're going to buy them out, what percentage of the company is going to go to the the family members or the partners that want to keep the company. You have to have an attorney involved. We have to get a trust in there for an irrevocable life insurance trust. Sometimes has to be involved in this, and you definitely need an attorney involved in getting the paperwork written up so that and the life insurance has to back that paperwork.
Sounds like there are a lot of moving
There's a lot of moving
components
parts
to putting together a plan. Very, very involved. So how early should business owners start planning their exit? Day one, mid-career, closer to retirement? What phase should they start thinking exit strategy? I would think at the very beginning, because you don't know what life's gonna. You can't predict life, or the success of your business. So I would think right as soon as you do the grand opening, then you start thinking exit strategy. Simultaneously. Really, I mean,
once the business is established, I would set up exit strategies in case any of these life happen situations can happen. And at any time point, you might get tired of the business, say I'm just going to quit. Well, no, we just have a strategy. If you want to try and make sure that someone else doesn't, take your key employees as your business is starting to advance and they're good at what they do, let's give them golden handcuffs. Let's do a golden handcuff policy to keep them there. I'm saying if you stay next 10, 15 years, next 10 years, then you can have $1 million. We're going to have it set up where you get $1 million and own that life policy. So there's ways that you can, you do have to start thinking from the very beginning. It's part of setting up a business, strong business, that you have to have an exit strategy in place.
I want to focus on the positive, not on the negative. So my question is, can you share a story or an example where having versus not having, where having an exit strategy or helping your client put together an exit strategy, how it made a major difference for that particular business owner? Do you have any stories or examples that you can share from your own personal experience?
Yes. I have one company, in fact, in the throes of helping them right now. I started with them about between 15, 20 years ago. And it's a welding company, and the owner became very successful, family-owned business. It started out, I wasn't with him when it started out. It's another started out in the garage, but his two key employees started with him out in that garage and went to a $1 million plus business. And my conversation we argued about this a lot, is that he needed to make sure that he had a strong retirement program for his key employees. And he felt that he was paying them enough where they could start their own. Well, I'm paying enough salary, they need to do their own. I said, no, they've been with you through thick and thin. You need to set up a strong retirement program for them. Especially one day and he was from Jamaica, and he was going to go back to Jamaica. He now lives in Jamaica permanently. And now the two key employees are basically running the company. So they end up following what I told him, he got a life insurance policy on the one key employee. His other key employee didn't qualify, so she has an annuity. So what he does is he puts, depending on a bonus amount of money the company makes, but a minimum of at least $25,000 a year into each of those programs. He only started like 5 years ago, which I think was he should have started 10 years ago when I first approached him on it, but he's kind of stubborn. But now it's coming fruit. Everybody's looking. One of the key employees is looking to retire in this December. So now at least they have something to walk away with. And the other one that has the annuities, we're going to have to do a transfer of those because the company owns those. So we have to, get them out from under the company. And also that policy, the life policy, I'm sure he has the company as a beneficiary. And he probably did that because, he's putting the $25,000 in each of them each year, but he's showing it as a bonus so he can get a write-off on that, So things are coming around with at least the employees. And my concern was not so much him, because he had his retirement. He was set up, he owned properties and stuff. He's well versed in his portfolio, but the two key employees, the one I'm going to make sure that they at least had something for working for him for so long. So I just spoke with the office manager, the associate office manager, and she's really happy that I pressed him to do that. So at least she has something to walk away with.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Karla, we officially have 9 minutes left. Is there anything that you wanted to share or educate that is near and dear to your heart, something that you're really passionate about that we didn't discuss or cover or touch on during today's show?
Yeah. This is not any on the business side. This is like on the personal side on families. I want you to watch out because there's a lot of abuse going on right now with seniors, seniors and senior family members. I was speaking to an elder law attorney, and he said one of the biggest problems is of senior abuse right now is over child abuse. Even is the senior abuse of these these families who have these parents had made all this money and is sitting there, but they're basically like prisoners in that house because and they're taking over their accounts and doing them and having them sign paperwork because they're not aware of what they're signing. They're just saying sign here. This is going to make so for your estate, and
Oh, wow.
they're really abusing those privileges and money.
I need a
So
drink for this one.
so
Golly.
that so that those poor seniors, a lot of them are frightened of their own children. It's gotten to that point. I have a couple of clients right now who's in that situation. One of my associates said that her brother, the mother was ill, and she was going. They had the house, family home, and there's several brothers and siblings. There's several siblings, but the brother was, kind of nearby, and also one of the sisters lived by, and they both, took care of her. So the mother's going to leave the house to the kids, and so that's the house they grew up in, so everybody can enjoy the house and do it, enjoy it. Well, when the brother went over there one day and had the mother sign off the house to only him. So when she passed, nobody got the house. He got the house. Not only did he not, the children get to enjoy the home, periodically between all of them. He stole it out from all of them and took the money and moved out of state. And nobody got anything from the house that they all lived in. They're all supposed to have a part of. That's what's going on. That's one of many stories. So just be aware if you see any type of that situation, report it. There's elder law attorneys. You can report it. You can report it to the state. This is abuse. This is the seniors being abused. They're not being treated right. They're either being held in that bedroom, and some of them are afraid to even come out their bedrooms. I had another client I was talking to. It was sad to hear her say this. I was trying to, set up some annuities for her, and she said, she's afraid to even come out the bedroom. She would peek out the window, out of her bedroom, to see if her daughter was home because she was so mean to her. So that's another thing I'm passionate about. The family, the parents. And don't mistreat the parents because they did right by you. So don't abuse them.
What sources can you cite in terms of people, reporting what they think is they're witnessing is senior abuse, or their phone numbers or their websites that you can refer them to?
I don't have anything off the hand to refer you. I usually just go to find an elder law attorney that's in the vicinity and find out from him what's the best places to report it to. And they'll usually direct you, or they might even help you.
So I just did a quick Google search, report senior abuse, and I got the DOA senior helpline. Mm-hmm. It's got a phone number here, 1-800-252-8966 during regular business hours, or the DOI after hours elder abuse hotline, which is a different number from 5 to 8:30. And then there are many different websites, of course, from I'm on the Illinois side. So we've got Illinois Department of Aging. Didn't know there was such a thing. I'm sure there's, State Department of Aging, whichever state that you're in. This is interesting. I'm glad you brought this up because, again, my bread and butter was working with seniors, only seniors, the senior market for 2 decades. I've heard the stories. It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Matter of fact, when my mom, before I lost my mother, when Dad got to a point where he couldn't care for Mother anymore, he needed a caregiver, right?
Yeah, they will really do a number on him.
Oh, Lord.
They did. I had a family member that happened to. I mean, not only did they drain their savings account, but they stole from them.
And my dad's like, I don't care. I don't, because he was just he was I don't know how to explain it, like in the weeds. He was just so stressed out and tired and just wanted just get to the next day. And instead of having to deal
Yes.
with a lady who stole and file a report and go through that, he's just like, I'll leave it alone. And I think that's
Yeah,
probably
that's the
the
thing
attitude with
too.
most seniors.
Yeah, but you can't let it do. You can't let it hang. It's too much.
Absolutely.
It's too. That's fear that they're living. They should have to be in their senior years, living nice long life that God blessed them with, and have to have this fear, constant fear every day.
Absolutely. And there are so many parents that are out there where the kids just have no relationship, nothing to do with them. And so they have nobody to speak with, nobody to confide in, and they're being
No.
used and abused by the public. So if you're a neighbor, a friend, a church member, and you witness this, a great point, Karla. Just do a quick Google search. I think that would be a good way to start,
Mm-hmm.
and just do a search on senior abuse reporting, and you can just start there, and you'll have all these different websites and phone numbers, and be able to help these people. At the end of the day, my life, my purpose is putting people in the best financial position possible. So it's all about
Right.
paying it forward and making the world a better place today than it was yesterday. But when it comes to the senior market, there's so many different ways, man. Seniors are being taken advantage of, not just
It's,
by the public and not just by, um,
yeah,
people
setting
trying
up
to take their money, but just family
right.
members as well, anybody. And
Yeah,
they
and
do.
in the residential care facilities or senior homes, I mean, they're doing that too. On long-term care facilities, they are taking advantage of them too.
Probably worse there than
And
anywhere
the
else.
problem is, the children will set them in there and they just won't visit them. They just leave them there.
Yep, 100%. Karla, I always end on this final question. If you could stand on top of the world with the largest megaphone in the entire world and announce the most important message that you feel that the world needs to hear and what they need to know, what would that message be?
I would say have faith. I would say Proverbs 3:5, trust the Lord with all your heart. And with every challenge that comes through your life at any point in time, grab onto God and ask for his strength and his guidance, and he'll get you through.
That was
Never go without faith.
that was awesome. Karla, one more time, how would somebody be able to get in touch with you? Drop your number, give your email address. How would they be able to make contact with you?
At 888-383-3068. My direct number is 951-333-2080. And email is kmld@imiassetmanagementco.com.
You're awesome, Karla.
Thank
That
you for
wraps up
having me.
today's episode of the Financial Happy Hour podcast. I want to say a big thank you. I mean, I'm going to give you a virtual hug right now, Karla, because I am a raving fan. Karla Leonard in the house for breaking down the hidden tax incentives available to business owners and shining a light on why exit strategies are not just an option, but a necessity. So, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode and you got some value from it, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share the episode with all your friends and family. And remember that the right plan today can mean freedom and flexibility tomorrow. If you
Yes.
found value in this conversation, again, don't forget to share this episode with a few fellow business owners who needs to hear it. Until next time, this is Rusty Westfall reminding you to take control of your money, your business, and your future. Cheers. Thank you, Karla.
Cheers.
There we go.